Thank you for tuning into the Auto Grades Podcast, where God is creating a better you. I'm your host, Farah. Today's special guest is none other than my dear friend, Zipporah Redding-Christian of Prime Care Consulting. Yes, everybody, episode 2 is finally here. Let's listen in to the art of being intentional.
So with self-motivation, it's so important that you develop a sense of self, whatever that looks like for you. If that needs to be affirmations, put some affirmations around you. If you're unsure where to start with that, we are in a world where there are so many resources. We do not have to reinvent the wheel, as my dad would say. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to be intentional. If that means you need to look up what are some affirmations, and you start seeing what means something to you, then that's what you can do. You can look that up on Instagram, Facebook. You can Google. Google is our friend, people. We got to use our resources.
Google, everybody. Yes, Google. And you know, I love Google because, you know, years ago we had to go to the library, find what we wanted. And I mean, you guys have it at the click of a button right now.
It is, but as much as we have it at the click of a button, as a high school educator, I will be the first to tell you, people are still not using their everyday resources.
Oh my gosh.
So we have to use the things that are available to us. And I say that without sarcasm. Like, we really, as much as the World Wide Web is at our fingertips, we're still not using it to our fullest advantage. How many people are sitting on an idea right now? Sitting on it, and you're like, I don't know where to get started. Did you ever Google where to get started? You know what? Let's stop talking about it. Let's put a comma there.
I love
Not
that.
just Google. Did you use AI to find out how can I, and then fill in the blank?
I love
Have
that.
you tried it? ChatGPT is a friend as well. Copilot is a friend as well. These are just some AI. These are just some AI resources. We have to use it to our benefit.
I think that for me, Zipporah, I think that what it is that I feel like I'm cheating.
You're not cheating. It's a tool.
Okay, because I feel like I'm cheating because I'm so used to like delving into stuff and going to get multiple books and all that.
It's a tool, and I say that because I just realized, I know it's a tool, but I'm really giving myself permission to see, to research, because it's a research component. You're finding information. You're not cheating. You're finding out the information that it is you want to know. Now, it's when you take it word for word. Let's say you say, I want to create a business, and you take every single thing that it said. Now, that's not organic.
You got to put your own
You have to put your own thing to it. But if you need an outline, like I like an idea. I use AI for an idea, and I teach my students to do the same thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to try to figure out, man, this is so hard, I don't know where to start. There are resources we can use to find out where should we start.
Well, I don't feel so bad now because I've been wanting to do the ChatGPT and the whole AI, and I've been avoiding it.
It's a tool. I use, when I'm thinking of an idea for one of my businesses, or if there's a plan, a professional development plan, based on the person who I'm assisting, based on their background, I use it as a tool to ask AI, what type of learning styles could someone who has dyslexia, how can I help them with their professional development? So again, it's giving me some examples, but I have to use my own self-knowledge of what I know, because based on your industry, you're the expert in the room.
That's right.
You can use it as a tool. So I'm just using it as an outline.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a tool.
I'm going to start using it, guys. So what do you most enjoy about being a woman empowerment speaker?
Oh, I love women empowerment. But what I most enjoy about being a woman empowerment speaker is the opportunity to empower women based on the empowerment that was given to me. My first empowerment came from, again, my lineage, my grandmother, my mom, my sister. And then my community started to expand. Teachers, while in college, colleagues, as I continued in the career. There are elements that can build towards our gift. And being a woman empowerment speaker is a part of my gift. My gift is speaking. I know God has put something inside of me as a gift that if I'm sharing information with someone else, there is sometimes where I'm in so much alignment. I don't even know what the other person is going through, but there's a message that I'm given that I share, and they say that was meant just directly for me. You don't know what season I'm in, and what you said has unlocked something. That's why I gave you the example of sometimes we are a key, and other people who we're talking to, they're a lock. And we have the key to unlock their doors of information, of understanding something. So being a woman empowerment speaker allows me to be what others have been to me. And I'm really just paying it forward.
And I love that because she's not keeping it to herself, right?
I am not a gatekeeper.
I know, because so many people, we get things, we get information. I can't share this. I got to keep this to myself. But I get excited for what other people are doing, and I get excited with helping them to start that process. And empowering them when they're in that place of they have no idea where to start, or they have an idea and they want enhancement, and but like you said, if that time and space allows for it, that empowerment, is going to reach.
Absolutely. And that's even where I've developed as a consultant, as a professional and personal development consulting. Someone is sharing with me, especially when it comes to the vision board and their vision. Our visions are so sacred.
They're very sacred.
And we're so vulnerable when we share an idea. This is my thought. I want to create, and then they share with me what they want to create. And sometimes they feel this self-doubt. And I'm there to empower and say, listen, first you have to know you're already doing what it is you say you want to do. And even if there is an arena that they say they want to get into, I start using the proximity principle. You have to start getting around the people who are doing that what you want to do. So what you want to do is attainable. It's not impossible. How did I become speaking? I've spoken for pharmacy organizations. So I've always been a speaker in some sort of another, but when I started getting paid for speaking and started to develop my portfolio, I first started in pharmacy. And it started in proximity because I saw a person who looked just like me teaching a pharmacy conference. And I was like, I'm in amazement. And I'm like, oh, you wait till the end of the seminar ends. And I'm that person, if there's a conference or a seminar, I'm waiting to the end till the speaker finishes. And while everybody is packing up to go, I'm talking to the person who is up speaking. I have questions. This was amazing. I always, give them their accolades and their praise of how appreciative I am of the information that has been shared. But my next question, my follow-up is usually, how would I get into this? Because I'm interested in sharing information that I have. And I love people. You said I'm not a gatekeeper. I love people who share information and resources with me. Please share. Sharing is caring. They're not just saying that on Barney. Sharing really is caring. But I've had people who have been so intentional and inspiring to me to share information so that I can continue to develop in the level that I want to.
And when they do that, they're taking time for us. Right? And
making space.
The time is for you, and for us. So people are sharing with us, and us sharing with them. It's our time and our energy and our love for what we do and our passion for what we do. We want to see other people there.
So we want to see you win.
What's your advice on achieving goals?
My advice on achieving goals, 2 things. Be intentional and self-determination. If you do not have the intention to set out to achieve the goal that you want, it's not going to happen. I said at the beginning of this podcast, as a man thinketh in his heart, mind, soul, so is he. It's really the same thing. If you don't have the intention to do what it is that you want to do, it's your goal. It's nobody else's. It's what you want to do. Self-determination. Do you believe you can do it? Sometimes we battle this self-doubt. I don't know if I can. I call it the Eeyore spirit. Am I good enough? We have to sometimes shake that. And sometimes we are our own worst critics. And I'm speaking from experience. There have been things that I said, I want to do it, but I don't know. Am I qualified enough? Do I have what it takes? And I've had, again, there goes back that village. I've had a village to remind me when I am feeling some type of way, myself to remind me, no, you're already doing what it is you're interested in.
You were born
You're just trying to develop it more.
You were born to do it. And that's what I wanted to circle back to, because you mentioned your village earlier, and I was like, but then you answered the question for me, because I was like, what? So I do have a question for you. What's your advice on achieving your goals?
The advice I would say on achieving your goals, I would say 2 things. Intentional and self-determination. You have to be intentional with what it is that you want to do. It's your goals. Only you can do them. So if you don't have a plan, if you're not really trying to work to get there, then it's not going to happen. And then you're going to feel like, well, see, that's why I didn't try. You didn't try because you didn't start, respectfully. I'm speaking from self-experience. If you do not start, You're going to feel like it's not going to work. And that's only because you didn't start. You got to start. I'm going to tell you some information that I read, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I'm like, I'm going to take this as a sign.
Yes.
Start where you are.
Right where you are.
You don't need nothing else.
Yeah.
I need to watch another podcast. Start where you are. I need to read another book. Start where you are. If I don't go to this seminar, I'm not going to get it. Start where you are. I'm talking to somebody right now.
I love that.
You have to start where you are.
You know who you're talking to? You're talking to me.
Okay. And myself as well.
Yes.
Sometimes when I share information, I am reminding myself of a promise. You know, you said you wanted to be intentional. You said that you wanted to do this. You need to make the plan. You need to make the action steps to get there. Yes. And sometimes it takes us longer because we sometimes get in our own way.
Yes.
Sometimes we pause, and a pause is not a period. That's okay, because sometimes we have to take a pause.
I love that.
And that's okay. Don't feel like, well, man, I'm never going to get there. Sometimes a pause is necessary because life be life.
Yeah.
Life.
You know what? You so hit that target, because when you got here today, we were talking about being an author.
Yes.
And literally, Sheba and Zipporah were the key. And that lock situation happened because I knew that I wanted to do that. But the timing is right? Because we know that financially you have to have all these things in place.
Right.
And in my heart of hearts, I've been wanting to do it, and it kept coming up over these past few weeks. And I'm going to do it.
And you are going to do it. And sometimes the intention that we set for, even if we don't know the how.
Yes. Yeah.
Because sometimes we get stuck on the how.
Yeah.
Got to figure that out.
I was stuck on the how.
If we really want to do it, and if it's really in our desire, because he says he will give you the desires of your heart.
It's my desire to be a part of that book.
It's going to be fulfilled because he gives us the desires of our hearts as long as we are obedient to his will. Yes. And that's what we're doing. So intention and self-determination. Do you believe you can? Sometimes you have to call in your village. If you are feeling, and we're all human. We're all going to have some moments of self-doubt. There are moments where I'm like, can I do this? Am I qualified enough? Can I really do this? And that's when the village, you need a strong village. And it doesn't take, when I say village doesn't mean 50 people. I can see people with 20 and 30 friends. I think that's awesome if that's you.
Yes.
But you don't need 20 or 30 people to affirm you. Sometimes you just need a classic 5.
But you know what? You just said something. You just said affirm. I think that so many of us, the self-determination piece, we don't understand that we don't have to have the affirming from someone outside, right?
You can affirm yourself.
Yes.
Do you think you can? Do you know you can? Yes. Do you believe you can? Yes. Do you want to? Now go do it.
That's it.
When I say sometimes you need the classic 5, when it's a team, I'm going to use a basketball analogy. Basketball season is upon us approaching.
Yes, it is. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Football season is here, but basketball season is coming. The team that's on the court is 5 people. Yes, there are people on the bench, because the people on the bench got electrified. Okay, because the 5 players have been playing. So with several on the bench, okay, they got to come out and really heat it up. But if the 5 are doing well, the bench can stay there to almost sometimes 3rd and 4th quarter. Because the 5 players that you got, they rocking.
Yes.
We don't need a replacement, because they're working on all cylinders. And sometimes if you don't have the strong village as you're developing, sometimes the classic 5 has to be you. I believe I can. I know I can. I see that I can do it. I'm making efforts to doing it. Like if you're not making efforts, it's not going to happen. Wishing and wanting and praying, oh Lord, I just wish it. I just know I can do it. And you're not doing anything. Faith without works is what? You got to do something. If you're not doing anything, then it's not going to happen. So don't say it didn't happen. It didn't happen because you're not trying. And you got to try.
You just said something, because I think when you rocked, I said, I wish I had an executive producer. I was just making this little fun little thing I was saying, but I have to be my own person.
Yes.
Right? I've got to be behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Everything has to be me right now in this season.
Yeah. And it starts off with you. When I do my vision board parties, it is team me and team Sheba. Okay. Y'all better get y'all a team Sheba.
Yes. She's a whole team in her.
Okay.
She's your 4.
Completely.
Yes.
I'm about to go. Yes.
But you know
sometimes the 5. Okay. But sometimes if I'm not there, she has enough to say, nope, keep going. You can do it. Wow. I thought you said you was going to do it. You need somebody who remind you. Again, you don't need all these people. You just need the right people in position and in place. And you have to know I will share an extra tip. You got to know to take direction. If you are somebody who cannot take the direction and instruction, your chances of getting to the next level is going to take even longer.
Wow.
Because somebody has a gift, and sometimes people have a gift of foresight. Yes. They can see beyond what you can see.
Oh, yes.
Sheba is I call her my O&O. She's my oldest and only sister.
Okay.
The Lord knew the Lord knew she was all that in the bag of chips. I didn't need another sister. He was like, no, she's going to be everything in one.
It. Everything in one.
But listen, Sheba is a universal guide.
Yes.
She sees the big picture.
Okay.
Sometimes I see the world.
Yeah.
She sees the universe.
You're seeing straightforward. And okay, well, what about all the
She can see it all.
You're seeing all of this.
And you can make this work for that too. I'm like, but I need to do this. What you're doing, that can work for that too. Yes. I'm a speaker. She says, you need to start recording yourself. I'm not shy behind the camera or nothing. I just haven't pressed record. Oh, no lie. Oh, man. I don't have an issue with a camera with being recorded. Yes. I just haven't done it. Remember I said you need to be intentional and press start? Yes. That's it. That's it. But I'm still in my arena. I'm still speaking. I'm still doing other things. But you want to get to another level, start pressing record. Share that with somebody. Your audience, she tells me all the time, your audience is waiting on you. Yes. And look where I am now.
They are waiting on us. They've been waiting on us. People ask me all the time, when's your next episode?
Yeah.
Like, between all the things I have going on, I can make time to just stop and do it.
And we have to do it.
We just have to do it.
That's why I say the first step is intentional. Are you intentionally putting out, I don't care if it's 15 minutes. I'm going to take 15 minutes today and I'm going to press record.
Look at my vision board back there.
Yes, intention. That's what it says, intention.
That right there, I was turning 50 last year, and I did that vision board last year, January, right? And it's been sitting there. But look at the word that's on there. It's so wild that you're saying that.
Right. And sometimes, again, on our vision boards, we're talking about the visions, making it plain. We know the word. Everybody knows the scripture. Make the vision. Write the vision. Make it plain.
Yes.
Do the vision.
Do the vision. Wait a minute.
Do the vision.
Wait a minute. What did Michelle say this year?
What did she say? Because she said a lot.
Do something.
Y'all.
Do something. 2 words.
Do something. Words. Start
now. Now.
With what you have. You have a phone. You have a there is something. I got to share the message. It's on my spirit.
Go.
There is something that you have right now that you are. I got to wait till I have a website. I got to wait till till I have the business name. Oh, no. I got to wait till my background looks more, appeasing. If you need to make a video in your car, don't have a car. If you need to make a video in the park, don't have a park to get to. If you need to make a video in grandma's basement, I don't care where you are. Like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The gift is in you.
Yes.
You have to get it out.
Yes,
you have to get it out. Why should we just sit here? I'm not a gatekeeper. Why should I sit here with all this empowerment and just empower myself? I'm not just here to empower myself.
Like you said, waiting for all of these things to come together.
You already have it.
Yeah.
You already have it.
Yeah.
You already have it.
Wow.
And when you get started, opportunities like this will appear. Because you're already working. Where did we meet? At a networking event. Where I was what?
Yes.
Hosting.
Speaking.
And serving. And one of those empowering.
I'm telling you. Yeah. And one of those divine detours, as I was telling you earlier. Yeah. Like, I wasn't even going to be there that night. It was a last minute thing. So I thought, but I had to be in the room with all of you, because another thing is that attracts what needs to come out of us.
Yes.
Right. All of you. And it's just like a flash of light from one woman to another woman. Like,
sparks continue to fly.
Oh my gosh.
And what happens in a fire when I love analogies. I'm a fan of analogies, and I'm a visual person. I need to see it. Like, some people have to feel something. I need to feel it too, but I need to see a visual version first. When you see sparks fly, the fire catches somewhere, and then it catches somewhere else. And before you know it, there's a ring of fire, and fire is everywhere. Yes. Our ideas are the same. Have you ever gotten still? And all of these ideas just start flowing. Just you're like, man, I haven't felt this powerful moment in a while. We don't get still. There has to be a reason why the scripture says, be still and know that I am God. Because when we are in our busiest, how are we hearing God?
Yes, that's so true.
How are we listening? How is he giving you those spiritual mental downloads for you to go out and fight another day and battle something? Because we are all battling something. Yeah. And sometimes it's not an outward thing. It's an inward thing. We're fighting insecurities. We all have insecurities. I have insecurities.
Every one of us.
Okay.
Every one of us.
But we have to fight. We have to take inventory and continue to develop, continue to improve, and just know I can't just be still. I can't just do nothing. I have to do something. Something has to be done, and whatever that something is, make sure it's productive. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm booked and busy." That sounds nice, sis. That sounds nice. Is it productive? Because you don't have to look busy for me. We've gotten into a space where now it has to be. Do other people think I'm girl? Do they think I'm busy? Look, does it look like I'm doing something? Because I want to look like I'm doing something. No. Are you really doing something? And is that something productive? It has to be productive. We got to be productive. The bee, y'all got to study the bee. I don't know if you've ever really studied the bee. The bee is a beautiful character to study because the bee works. The worker bee works. They're going from flower to flower, delivering the pollen. Then they make honey. Y'all gotta study the bee. That bee is productive. You'll see a lot of, and can I share something else? Industries. If you look in your stores, if you go to Walmart, Target, Family Dollar, it doesn't matter what store you're going to, you're gonna see a lot of decor surrounded around the bee. It is so true. And they'll say, "Be happy, be this, be that," and that's good and stuff. But I think someone at the upper level, they're thinking outside the box. It's not by, it's not just by chance they started putting bees on stuff. Bees are always working. No bee is ever just flying just to be flying. Wow. Oh, I just wanted to just respectfully, butterflies fly just to they doing something too, because I love to see the beauty in the butterfly. Like, don't get me wrong, but that bee is working. I'm telling you, you got to be the bee. You know what? And bee means to be in existence. You have to exist. You have to be moving, not just I'm just here. No. What are you doing here? The reason why be in action. Why you see me going through all this at the moment when you brought the bee up is because last week in the Bible study that I taught, I taught on Deborah, which her name meant bee. It does. And so ask me, how do I know that? Ask me, how do I know that? You're gonna freak out. You're not freak out. You're gonna get excited. Tell me, please, because we're doing a part 2. Ask me why did I reference the bee? Because that's her middle name. Her being my sister. I am so encouraged, inspired. I'm telling you. I am telling. I said you're gonna get excited. We did this Bible study on Zebra. Telling you. First of all, Deborah. Let's talk about this. Okay, because this is just. Can I just share something? We didn't even know this. We did not. I had no idea. I was in deep study on this last week. I'm telling you, y'all gotta study the bee. And Deborah means bee. And I love. Oh my gosh, this is. I'm my sister's biggest fan, and she's mine. I'm telling you. Well, listen. Next month at our next Women of Grace Bible study, we're going to be talking about the woman that comes after her, who Deborah raised up, the other warrior. I don't want to say her name. Okay. We're going to talk about it. But I tell you, I studied the bee last week and this whole thing, and how Deborah was in one place. Let that be alignment. Let that be an alignment. It's we have to be productive. It's not enough just to. Yes, we have to do something, because sometimes we need steps. Remember I said the journey to 1,000 miles begins with one step? Yes. You know, I have to do something, okay? And as you're doing something, make sure that something is productive. Yes. No idle time. No, I'm just doing it just to do it. Listen. There has to be a reason behind it. Intention. We're going to have lunch together probably another week or so. And we're going to be talking about Deborah at the table because it was such a blessing. I will tell you, the ladies who were in the Bible study can tell you it was incredible. Yeah. And just me studying it before I left the house that day, I was just overwhelmed. And so I just look at this as a touch and agreement. Yes. We have to be productive. Yes. This is the season of productivity. Yes. This is the season of exposure, believe it or not, in any way, shape, or form that comes. Releasing our flaws, releasing our insecurities, releasing our doubt, the stiffness, the stagnation. We have to stop. Yeah, the stagnation. Yeah. Procrastination. Anybody procrastinate? Literally, I'm amongst friends. Okay, we got to get started, y'all. Coach on Friday, I was talking to her about this, about all the goals that I met this year. I said, I'm still dealing with the spirit of procrastination in this one area. And she's like, listen, go home and start writing this stuff down and just achieving it. You can. You have it. One thing at a time, whatever that looks like. And you don't have to make it a big thing, meaning everybody else has to. But did you do it? Because sometimes if somebody, because I'll tell you, when I start getting the pressure
Pressure, what they say, pressure bust pipes. Pressure also builds diamonds. But you got to know the right level of pressure that you can handle. Yes. September is also Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, yes.
We have to know. That's what I share with people. Take inventory. You need to know how you're feeling, and if you are in a state of numbness, and you don't know what you're not going to know your responses. So you have to take some inventory and know, you know what? Let me just take a moment. Sometimes we want to say yes to everything, but sometimes it has to be not right now. Yeah. Don't leave. Don't count me out just yet. Yeah. But it's me season, and I really do mean that. When people are like, "Oh, it's me season," no, really take me season and get yourself together. Sometimes it's not going to be about going out and doing the things, and you're going to see other people doing things, and that's great. Yeah. But we have to get away from comparing ourselves. Yeah. That's another thing. Self-determination. Comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. We have to get out of they're going out to eat again. Oh, that's nice. Oh, they went to another. She went to another event. Minister Farrah went to another event. I didn't go. I haven't been to an event. Yeah, right. You should. We got to change our language. Life and death is where in the power of the tongue. We have to change our language. I'm happy she's experiencing that. Yeah. She deserves that. I've just stopped. Yeah. I have. When I tell you I've changed the way that I see things, perspective is everything, and we have to really change it from even how we speak it. If you begin to say, "Well, she only got that because," or they only like that because, you got to stop that. We have to stop that type of language. Absolutely. We need to be happy for people.
And we have to respect each other, because like when you said you have to say no sometimes, right? Or not now.
Yeah.
It's not for us to just count she didn't say yes when I asked her to, right? The season has to be right. The timing has to be right.
You don't know what people are battling. Yeah. That's really the thing. And I really want us to create a space of grace. Yeah. The world needs compassion. Yes. The world needs compassion. Yes. And if you are at a capacity, because everyone has a different capacity, right? Yes. Yes. If you are at the capacity where you can give grace, you should give grace. Yes. And we have to know that, you know what? Just not right. She said not right now. Yeah. We don't need to start, because a lot of people tell themselves a whole story. Oh, yeah. She didn't want to come because she ain't really happy for me. Stop doing that now. Yes, please. That don't mean somebody's not happy for you. Yeah, right. She just couldn't come, sis. Yes. She just couldn't make it. Yes. We're gonna stop this whole, and we just be having conversations in our heads. Yeah. I'm sharing it because as an empowerment speaker, I hear people also verbally say it, not just in their heads, but I hear people say it. But she didn't come because. But I always invite her, and she always tells me, no, we don't know what season they're in. Yes. Have you ever had, case in point, have you ever talked to someone and they actually told you, well, girl, last year, remember you was asking me about X, Y, and Z? Yeah. This is what I was going through. Yes. And you know the first thing we say, girl, I didn't know I didn't know you was going through all of that. Yeah. Everybody's battling something, whether it looks like it or not. And what can we do? We can give grace. We can have compassion. Give some grace. And so that's my messaging when it comes to empowerment and what can we do and on our journey of being intentional. We can be graceful with ourselves, and we can be graceful with others.
And be productive.
And be productive and do something productive. Yes.
So what's some of your favorite quotes?
Some of my favorite quotes. I have a couple. One of my favorite quotes is a quote I created when I was a teenager. Oh. So
a poet of sorts?
Just a little something. Just a little something. Self-determination is a real thing. So I remember growing up, and I have had learning challenges. Okay. I learn differently from other people. Okay. And sometimes when we learn differently from other people, you get into this space of they're further ahead than I am. Yeah. And that comparison thing. And I was reminded by my mom, by my sister, by my village, you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. You are enough. So one of the things that I developed as a quote is time is never wasted when improvement is involved. So it's not about, because sometimes you're like, man, it took me 5 years to get what they did in 2.
This is recorded, copywritten, so do not take this quote and make a book out of it, please, people. Yes, yes. Okay, and it's yours.
It is mine, and it's also it's in a magazine of my quote. Time is never wasted when improvement is involved. You're gonna look up and you're gonna say, man, it took them 4 years to get what I did in 7, or whatever that looks like. You didn't waste your time if you was improving yourself along the way. Yes.
And I learned that just by looking at my journey. Yeah. And so that's one of my favorite quotes. And when I feel like, well, man, I'm in my 30s, you know, I thought I was going to have this, that, and the third, because we all have the list. Yes. I thought I was going to have this. I thought I was going to have that. I thought I was going to do this.
You know what?
I didn't waste my time. I was improving.
And that there's the enemy of success is regret.
Yes.
It's the regret thing. You know, it's the regrets. And we know that we talked about this earlier, like, you know, you guys' generation compared to ours, we had to fight for a lot.
Yeah.
For some, I found out recently, like my grandmother's generation, they were hindered. Totally different perspectives, right? And so now, you know, we can look at you all and we can gain something from that.
And we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
If I can learn from my mom and her generation and my grandmother and her generation, I'm also learning from my nephews and my daughter's generation. Two different, like my nephew's 18 and my daughter is 7. Yeah. Like those are some age gaps there.
You learn Riz.
But I'm like, okay.
you learn Riz.
Okay. And I am learning indirectly when I go to the park with my daughter and I see all this confidence and this bravery. You know, when you go to the park and the children are just playing on things, you're like, oh my gosh, you can hurt yourself. You can, because we're looking at the obstacles and they don't even see them as obstacles. They see them as opportunities. I'm learning, y'all. And we have to continue. I would encourage anyone, continue to be in a state, to continue to be in a state of learning.
Yes.
And you can't just learn one direction. Yes. We need to learn unidirectional.
You got it.
You can learn from a baby. Yes. So favorite quotes. Last favorite quote.
Go ahead. I love this one.
Nelson Mandela.
As soon as you said that,
it always seems impossible until it's done. Have you ever done something and you said, I don't think I can do it, or what would this look like, and then you get it done? It always seems impossible until it's done. And that was one of my favorite quotes.
And that was just one of his. I'm sure he has
thousands.
Many, right?
Martin Luther King too. You heard me say it. The journey to 1,000 steps begins. The journey to 1,000 miles begins with one step. Yeah. So many different ones, but those are the ones that stick out to me. And then one of my favorite Bible verses, which I have a lot.
I know it.
Have a lot. One of my favorites. It's actually in the New Testament. It's in whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. Lord, whatever I do, I want it to glorify you. Yeah. I want it to be of good nature, of good production, of goodness that can reflect the light that you've given me. Yes. And so that's why I believe everything that I have, it's a direct reflection of the desires of my heart. From my lips to his ears to his heart, because he sees our heart. Yeah. My hands have to be clean. My heart has to be clean. I want to do things of service, and I think that's why I'm also in the medical community, because I'm serving people.
You said something earlier today when we were talking off camera, and it blessed me, because you just heard Zipporah. She just quoted a scripture, right? And you've heard me talk about so many different scriptures in the Bible and all of these other things. But there's somebody who can be watching who is from another background than ours, right? And we're open to you too. Yes. There's no pushing away.
Absolutely not. Because God is love. Yes. I call God Yahweh. Everyone, somebody may have a different belief in something, but guess what? The love. Yes. If I'm supposed to show love, and if we all believe it or not, the word says show love to your neighbor, one to another. Yes. How are we doing that? If we're mistreating our neighbors, if we're not doing the right thing, that's not of God. That's not of Holy Spirit. That's not of righteousness.
And we're not just called to empower women in the church, right?
Correct.
We're called to empower all women.
All women. Yeah. Whatever walk of life you are in. Some people have gone through domestic violence. Some people have gone through abuse. Some people have gone through some horrific things. Yes. But when they cut on an inspirational message, whether it's faith-based, a spiritual message, we are fighting. What does the word say? We are fighting against principalities. We're fighting against things that you can't even see, seen and unseen. Yeah. We need to take inventory and see where can we show up. Yes. And I feel like that's where we are. Yeah. We show up empowering each other. We show up exuding love. Yes. The love and the energy that I feel from Minister Farah, and just welcoming me, my sister, into her home, into her space. People's homes are very sacred. Yes, people are not just inviting you places, and just to feel the warmth, the love, the connection, the community. It's important to have good community. And I feel like that this is what this is.
And you know, I mean, a lot of people don't know how I started Art of Grace because I did women's ministry for so many years in the Christian, faith of it all. And when I moved to Florida, I just stopped everything because it was a season for my family.
It was a pause.
It was a pause,
yes.
right? And I was making it a period. But my friends, my women of grace, all the way up in Virginia, I just happened to be up there visiting, and they're like, "What are you doing down there?" Like I said, I'm not doing anything. But in all of those years, God had me in the marketplace.
Come on.
And so I said, you know what? I want to start a new ministry that's based around women in the marketplace and ministry. Not just that, because I don't want to leave anyone out.
And I love that, because there is space for everyone.
Yes.
And where there is space, you're creating a safe space.
Yes.
This is so beautiful. I know you're here to talk about me and ask me questions, but let me just go ahead and share with you and give you your flowers to begin and start something out of selflessness. Like this is not for you. You're doing this as an outward. I think, and I know someone needs this. And you have created a safe space, created an environment to empower others, to show others, you know what? Let me share my platform with you. There are a lot of people who are on podcasts who are just talking and people are just responding through messages. No, you say, I want to invite you. I want to talk to you. And you've made it a conversation. You've made it a space where women can feel empowered, inspired, rejuvenated. This is going to bless someone. This is blessing me, and I'm just talking to you.
I mean, all the women that come on the podcast, for everyone who has come, is to highlight what they're doing. It's not about me. So I wanted Zipporah to come out and highlight what she's doing right now, because she's such a blessing in the earth right now. And she's going to be a blessing to so many watching who's going to call her and book her for some events because she's incredible. And I'm going to make sure I book her for something before she gets too booked up. So
I always make time and space.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me is I am working on a book anthology. So it's a successful women devotional.
Yes.
Myself, my sister, and some other ladies are coming together.
Yes.
And we are creating and Minister Farrah is going to be a part of that anthology.
I have to.
So I'm working on being a co-author. I already have my chapter written. I'm super excited to share my story even more. You got a glimpse into it, and you've even heard me say one of the things that I'm going to mention in my chapter. But it is going to bless someone, and it's really about empowering. And on a day-to-day basis, we all need something to draw towards. That's going to reset us, refocus our minds from all of the things that's happening in the world. And this devotional is to really do that. So I'm super excited about that.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm continuing to be a host. I have some upcoming speaking engagements with some women who have different events surrounding Orlando. And then coming up next year, in March, is my vision board experience. So that is where we'll have the vision board party. And a lot of people have heard of the vision board parties.
Yes.
And, they say, we cut things out and we just, put them on the vision. I help you make a plan. So that's why I'm also a consultant, a professional development consultant. But in the personal development space, as far as the vision experience goes, I help you create that plan so you can make those steps towards those goals. It's not just going to sit pretty on a piece of paper and you just look at it like, oh, that's nice. No. What's the vision to get there? So we have some speakers come in that's surrounded by some of the things that most people are looking to achieve.
Not just us hanging out. It's like
it's intentional.
It's intentional.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I look forward to doing that, and then having a journal guide to go along with the vision experience, because you need to journal your thoughts, your ideas every night. When you go to sleep, when you wake up, there is something new that has appeared, because we get signs and we get signals. And so I'm in the process of creating a journal for that experience.
Wow. So share with everyone where they can find you.
So you can find me at my email address, Zipporah, that is ZIPPORAH.DRC@gmail.com. And you can also follow me on social media, on Instagram at Zipporah.iam. That's where you can find me.
And I'm going to make sure that I put all of her links onto the platform. So once this goes up on YouTube, it'll be on Spotify and Apple. You know where to find us, Art of Grace. You'll get all of her information. And so this is exciting.
I'm excited to be here.
We have to do a part 2.
Part 2 is it? Stay tuned.
Okay, so now we're going to do a part 3 because we talked about the daughters episode that we want to do. Yes. So that was just a revelation that we got sitting here, and then the Deborah continuation.
The Deborah continuation.
I'm telling you,
I'm excited.
How amazing that Bible study was last week. I just loved it.
So the takeaways from today, we're going to learn to be more intentional. We are going to learn to get started where we are. We are going to be productive, and then we are going to create a space and maintain a space of positivity and empowerment. Someone needs the grace that you have to offer, and you need the grace also within. So make sure that you are being kind to yourself and being kind to others.
Got it. Oh, thank you so much. Didn't you guys enjoy Zipporah?
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming on with me.
I appreciate you.
It was just a day of blessings, and I so appreciate her being here. And thank you so much for watching. Please hit us up on Facebook. You know where to find me. Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok sometimes. I'm not on there as much as I want to be. But you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think I'm still on Twitter. They've now changed the name of
Twitter
it.
now.
Yeah. So I kind of stay away from it because I know there's a lot of controversy behind it. But you can find me on all my platforms. I would love to hear from you. Please, once I put Zipporah's information up on the platform, contact her, DM her, ask her some questions. She wants to get with you. And also, you can find her and see what she's doing. So if you want to find out what she's doing, if you want to book her, call her, reach out to her, and DM her for some booking information.
I do hosting. I'm a empowerment speaker. I'm a professional development speaker. That's really what I'm excited about, teaching people skills on how to develop those professionalism.
I love it. it. So until next time, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, we've come to the end of another amazing episode. Did you enjoy today's guest, Zipporah Redding-Christian of Prime Care Consulting? Well, listen, to the first 2 people that reach out to her on her social media platforms, stand a chance to win a professional development service with her. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Until next time.